Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of the Watch Monkey. Anyway, I'm just going to be taking a look at two watches today. One is the Bulova Mill Ships that just came out not too long ago. Very cool watch. And the other one that we're going to be taking a look at, kind of doing a comparison, is a much more affordable Vostok Amphibia in the 120 case. Both are very cool watches. They're very similar in different ways that you probably haven't even thought of. But yeah, these are two really neat watches. You guys are going to like this episode. So Bulova kind of versus Vostok. Just kind of a comparison of these two great watches. I think you're going to like this one. So anyway, let's flip the camera around and let's get into today's watches. Alrighty then, we've got the camera flipped around now, and here's the Bulova, and here's the Vostok presentation box just for comparison. The Bulova presentation box is actually pretty nice. You get this outer box, so we'll just pop that open, get rid of that lid there, and there's your very nice box. It's very solid. Can't even tell you exactly what material is used on this, but it's very sturdy. But anyways, here we'll open up the box, and you can see here, Bulova Archive Series MIL-SHIPS-W-2181 submersible. And yeah, the presentation of the watch is actually very nice. So anyway, I fell in love with this watch the moment that I saw it. And I was not really even looking for a watch when I got this one. But this one definitely spoke to me. It was just so different than anything else. So I'm going to just pop this out here. And let's take a little bit of a closer look at this. You know what I'm going to do too, just for comparison, is I'm going to pull out the Vostok. And you'll see the appearance of them are fairly similar. There's a few other similarities too that you need to be made aware of. But anyway, there's the Vostok presentation box. It's just a very cheap plastic, but that's okay. We're buying a watch, not the container or presentation. So there's your Vostok. And yeah, by the way, if you're wondering what case number this is, it's a 120 series. And it's actually, out of all the case sizes or styles that they have for the Amphibia, this by far is my favorite. It's a nice looking case. Anyway, okay, there we got those set aside. So here we got the two watches. We've got the Vostok Amphibia in the 120 case. Very nice watch. And then here we've got the Bulova Mill Ships. Absolutely stunning watch. So let's take a quick look at these two here. So one thing that you need to know is that this has got a very, very heavily domed sapphire crystal. You can see the dome on there is exceptionally high. I think Quorum might have made a watch out of the bubble or whatever they call it. That might have been a slightly bigger, but not by much. But anyway, the nice thing about this crystal is it gives beautiful distortions. I'll get some close-ups in a moment. Actually, let's do that right now. Okay, so here you go. There's a close-up of the watch, and you can see how beautiful it distorts. And again, I apologize for the glare on the watch. I'm not in a high-tech studio. I'm actually doing this out of my bedroom. So anyway, but yeah, here's the watch. And you can see it's very nice. It's got a signed crown, heavily domed sapphire crystal that I had mentioned. And I believe this is ceramic bezel and a non-lumed. In the more expensive one, it is actually lumed, the bezel. The other difference too with the more expensive one is it's got a nicer case back, and it's got a better movement. It's got actually an ETA movement, or I should say a Salida movement, SW200. But yeah, that is a good looking watch. So anyway, let's take a look at the Vostok quickly. And you can see this too has also got a domed crystal, not nearly as heavily domed. The bezel in here is just, I believe, an aluminum or a stainless steel. I think it's actually aluminum. You've got a date function, which is nice, which is a Bulova does not. And it's got a rotating bezel. It rotates both ways. And just for your information too, on the Bulova, It also rotates both ways, but you have to actually push down on it, and then you can turn either way. So it's got a really neat bezel system in here. So once you put the finish pressing down and release it, it's locked into position. It's not going anywhere, which is really cool. One of the controversial features about this watch too is the extremely narrow lug width here. Yeah, it spans 16 millimeters, and it's not going to be that easy to find straps for it. Well, maybe some women's type straps might fit it, or you can just order another one from Bulova. But anyway, it is a nice strap. It is very narrow, and I think it looks great. At first, it threw me off a little bit, just how narrow it was. But once you get used to it, it's just like, oh, no, it's actually pretty cool. I'm going to pull this off too as well, so you can see the case back on this. Just give me a moment here. Okay, so there's the case back. Very nice case back. I just wish it was the same as the more expensive one with the Salida movement, but it's not. Yeah, this case back here is very nice, but the more expensive one is very heavily embossed. This is a much shallower embossing on that one. And let's take a look at the Vostok case back. I'll do it on camera so you guys don't get bored. Telling you, this isn't the easiest thing to do, film and handle these watches with a camera right almost at your chest. Okay, so here, let's flip the Vostok over, and you can see there, not a bad looking case back. It says Amphibia, I guess, in Russian there, and it's very similar to this. And you can see here that the case backs, the design on how they're removed, are using the same principle, which basically they're using a screw down compression ring, what I mean by that is, you see this outer ring here? That's a separate piece from the rest of the case. And what's done is they use the tool and it screws it down with the ring. So this piece here, the actual case back, isn't putting any distortion forces or twisting forces on the rubber gasket, which is great. Works on the same principle as a mason jar. And you can see the Vostok in comparison is the same thing as well. And if you look at my previous video that I had just done, I actually take these I open up these watches and you can take a look inside to see how they're actually removed. And you can see they're pretty much using the same system, which is pretty cool. I don't know any other manufacturers at the moment that are using that. But, you know, these are both great watches. This one is a value king, though. If you don't know Vostok or Amphibia watches, get to know them. You're going to be shocked when you get one. They're very cool watches indeed. It's about $125, this one, whereas this one is, you're getting close to $1,000 for this thing. So quite a big price difference. But of course, there's quality differences, absolutely. But you can see as appearance go, they're pretty good. The real neat thing about the Russian watches, it's actually all made in-house. And it's got some quirks and features too, which I'll cover in a later video. But yeah, the quality is not the same for sure. But the history on this watch is absolutely fascinating. This one is a reproduction of a watch that Bulova actually never made into production. They built, I think, 1 or 2 prototypes. And yeah, if you go online, you can find out a little bit more information about that. But both these watches are very cool watches, and I would recommend both of them to you. But if you've got the money, go for this. This is such a cool watch. And what I'll do is I'm going to throw this 16 millimeter strap on my Vostok so you can see just how much it actually is similar to that Bulova Mill Ship. By the way, both watches are 200 meter water resistant. And so you can see there, it actually kind of fits. It's, you know, granted you've got another 2 millimeters of gap there, but if you spread spread it out a little bit, it almost eats it up. So yeah, really great watches. So sorry about bumping in the camera there, guys, but that's how I roll. So there you go, 2 great watches. By the way, the Lume on the Vostok is not bad, whereas the Lume on the Bulova on this particular model, I can honestly say is horrible, almost non-existent. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so if you got any questions about either of these watches, the Vostok Amphibia 120 case or the Bulova, let me know. I'm just going to put these two side by side and next to each other so you can see how close that they are in dimension. Okay, by the way, the Bulova is 41 diameter case. The Vostok is 40, so it's pretty close there. The lug widths, Bulova, of course, is narrower at 16. The Vostok is 18 from lug to lug, lug width. And then the actual lug distances, you can see that the Bulova is a little bit longer. This is actually 50, so it's quite a long watch, whereas this one is coming at around 48. So yeah, there's a little bit of size difference. The thicknesses are comparable if you take away the crazy domed crystal on the Bulova. But yeah, both great watches. I'm just going to hold these both up close so you can take a closer look. So again, that's the Amphibia with the 120 case. Love this watch. You really can't go wrong for that money. Are you kidding me? For an automatic anything, let alone with all kinds of history behind it. And then you've got the Bulova Mill Ships. And again, the Achilles heel on this watch really is the movement. It's considered as not very good, but well, I shouldn't say that. It's a cheap movement, or I shouldn't say cheap. I hate to use the word cheap. An inexpensive movement. So there you go. All right, so that's it for today. Please hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss another episode of the Watch Monkey. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like me to cover, that'd be great. By the way, just to let you guys know, any watch that I do review, I own them, so I actually spent time with these watches. I'm not affiliated with anyone as well, so it's non-biased reporting here for you guys. Yeah, take care, stay safe, and happy Halloween. You guys didn't think I'd forget to do the Lume shot. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention to you guys is that little flag thing there at the 6 o'clock. That's actually a moisture indicator, and that changes colors if moisture was to enter into the watch, which is kind of another neat little feature. So just looming up the Bulova, and then we'll loom up the Vostok, kill the flashlights, and we'll see what we got for Lume. All right, here we go. It's exciting stuff. So there you have it. There's the Lume. So here we got the Vostok, and there we got the Bulova. And you can see the Bulova it's okay. That's not great. But the Vostok is definitely shining brighter in this occasion anyway. So there you have it, your Lume shots. So that's it, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Please subscribe. I need your guys' support. Don't make me beg. Bye.